How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Ganji. Welcome to another episode of Tear Talk. Guys, I think this is pretty scary. Anytime you see somebody on that ring camera in front of your home trying to get into your home, I find that to be extremely terrifying, especially now having a family of my own. This is a video that is going viral. It involves Jason Thomas Nichols. So on the morning of April 7, 2026, a Ring doorbell camera captured one of the most disturbing residential intrusion incidents to go viral in recent memory. So we got a man wearing a long coat, and I'm going to show you the video, and flip-flops approached a family's home on Burbank Court in Fairfield, California, pounding on the door and repeatedly demanding to know the whereabouts of the homeowner's daughter. When confronted over the doorbell intercom, he identified himself as Harry Dresden, a fictional wizard character from Jim Butcher's popular The Dresden Files fantasy novel series. The incident escalated far beyond the doorstep. The suspect, identified as Jason Thomas Nichols, ultimately breached a home and was arrested on multiple felony charges. So we're going to pretty much cover everything that I have. I'm going to show you videos of him outside the home and then going inside the home where he's confronted by the homeowner. Now, by the way, I believe the homeowner is off-site. They must get an alert, and then they are trying to communicate with him through off-site, and then eventually the homeowner does go to his home to confront Jason Nichols. Let's do this. Let's show you both videos first. Guys, this is frightening. I think it is. And I got some safety advice. I think definitely a lesson here. All right, so let's go to the first video that's going viral, which is this one. So let's play this one.
Hello?
Hi there. Can you open this door, please?
For what?
I just want to make sure that everything's okay. There seems to be something going on.
What do you mean?
Hey, you know what, guys? Let me see if I can get a bigger one, because this is it's not big enough. Hold on 1 second. I think this one's bigger. Hold on. Let's do this one instead. Make sure you guys can see it. Let's do this full screen. Hold on 1 second. Oh, why can't I get this full screen? But let me see if this is does it at least look bigger. Let me let's see. There we go. All right, guys, check this out.
Hello?
Hi there. Can you open this door, please?
For what?
I just want to make sure that everything's okay. There seems to be something going on.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just figured I'd check on something.
I don't know what you want, man. Get out of my house.
Open this fucking door. Where's your daughter, man? Where's your daughter, man?
What are you talking about?
Where's your daughter? Who's in there with you?
Bro, if you don't
open this fucking door. Open this door. I'm breaking it fucking down. You understand me?
Leave my house. You don't.
Are you okay? Is everyone in this house okay?
What? Everyone's okay. What do you want? Can you leave my house, please?
You open the door, please.
You have nothing to do with my house. Can you leave my house?
You know what my name is?
I don't know who you are. You don't belong in this neighborhood. That's for sure.
This is my neighborhood, though.
Yeah, I live there. I don't know you.
My name is Harry Dresden, motherfucker. Open the door. This is my neighborhood. Open the fucking door. Now, or I will fucking end you. Do you understand me?
All right, let me show you the other video now when he's inside the home. Okay, now this is the video inside the home. So let's do this.
Where is she? Huh? Victor, you around? Huh? You like little girl? Huh? You fucking trying me, I swear to God, I'll kill you. Yes, I do. You might. Where's the fucking house? You man, you think you fucking shot me, motherfucker? I will save that little girl, you. There's no. You fucking liar! I can hear her. I can fucking hear her. Look at you, bitch! You son of a. I'll fucking kill you. Oh, you fucker! Man, hurry the fuck up, because I'm gonna drag his ass out. I'm telling you. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to, bro? Stand on the ground. Who the fuck do you think you are? My name is Henry Jensen. Get the fuck out of my house. Why are you screaming? There's no one up there. Get the fuck out of my third room, bro. Walk the fuck out. What's the third room? Walk the fuck out. I'm telling you, I'm giving you a chance right now, man. What's the third room, bro? I'm giving you a chance. Get the fuck out of my house. What's the third room, bro? I'm telling you, get the fuck out of my house. Please. Just answer the question. Get the fuck out of my house. Answer the question, please. There's no one in there. There's 3 rooms, man. I don't know who you are. You better get the street at 1797. I don't know who you're talking about, man. Why do I hear screaming? Are you military? Yes. Okay. Can you help me out? Okay. Yes. I understand what you're going through right now. Yes. Can you step outside? Yes, sir. Thank you. Will. Thank you for asking. There's something going on this street, bro. Bro, everything's fine. Please step outside. Okay. Well, sit there. Sit on the ground, please. Yes, sir. Okay. How you doing today, sir? Oh.
Put your hands on your head. Stand up and turn around. Don't move. Don't move.
Where is she?
So I think that's all I have on that. I just want to make sure. Do you notice how he asked him if he was military? Because I think the homeowner recognized that this guy could be having a mental health breakdown. That was well handled by the owner. So Jason Thomas Nichols, that's the person that broke into the home, is 29 to 30-year-old resident of Fairfield, California. Public Solano County jail booking records confirm his date of birth as September 2nd, 1996. with the physical description of approximately 5'10" and 210 pounds. I think he may be a little way more than that, my opinion. He's a local resident, described in multiple reports as a neighbor living near the Burbank court home he targeted. And even though he yelled Victor, I don't think that's the name of the homeowner. I honestly think that this guy just went off the rails. No official motive has been released by the Fairfield Police Department. Investigators say that the incident appears to be mental health related with no connection to the family, suggesting the family was not specifically targeted for personal reasons. During the confrontation inside the home, the homeowner asked Nichols if he had served in the military, to which Nichols reportedly answered affirmatively. Observers on Reddit and other platforms have theorized this may suggest a PTSD or psychotic paranoia episode. However, this has not been officially confirmed. What is confirmed is that Nichols appeared erratic, spoke in a delusional manner, and self-identified as a fictional character, all behaviors consistent with severe mental health crisis. And I think the homeowner recognized that. Definitely there was an exchange, a physical exchange, but I think the homeowner got the best of them with the improvised weapon, which would be the shovel. Harry Blackstone, Copperfield, Dresden. So he said he was Harry Dresden. Harry Blackstone, Copperfield, Dresden is the fictional protagonist of the Dresden Files, a long-running contemporary fantasy mystery series written by American author Jim Butcher. The series, which begins with Stormfront in 2000, has sold over 14 million copies in the U.S. Dresden is depicted as a wisecracking wizard and a private investigator working in modern-day Chicago, narrating supernatural investigations in a first-person format. He is famous for wearing a long black wizard coat. Maybe that's the black, kind of like maybe that coat he's wearing mimics it. A detail that visually mirrored Nichols' appearance on the ring footage. Notably, the Reddit community dedicated to the Dresden Files books took notice of the incident, with multiple threads appearing as fans recognized the reference. Nichols' claims to be Harry Dresden is widely viewed by commentators as evidence of a delusional episode rather than a harmless reference. So this is what happened before the officers arrived. The incident took place on the morning of April 7, 2026 at approximately 9:30 a.m. at a residence on the 1700 block of Burbank Court in Fairfield, California. According to the official Fairfield Police Department statement, the home was occupied at the time by a woman and her child. That explains why he went right in there. Nichols, wearing a long coat and flip-flops, aggressively approached the front door, banging, kicking, repeatedly ringing the bell and shouting, "Where is your daughter?" while behaving erratically. When the woman inside did not open the door, he threatened to end the resident if the door was not open. He stated over the ring camera that his name was Harry Dresden. The homeowner's husband, who was away at the time, was watching remotely through the home security system and immediately began driving back to the residence. So he probably already had called police and he was on his way back. Thank God he worked close to home. Can you imagine how scared the family was? Before the husband could return, Nichols attempted to force his way through the front door by kicking it. When that failed, he located and gained entry through a sliding glass door at the back or side of the residence. This is the key escalation that elevated the situation from a threatening encounter to a full residential burglary. When the husband returned home and found Nichols had breached the property, he armed himself with a shovel and confronted the intruder. A physical altercation ensued inside the home. Both the homeowner and Nichols sustained head injuries during the confrontation. Interior ring camera footage captured the confrontation, including the homeowner wielding the shovel. I'm going to see if there's another camera footage there, but I think that was the only one I saw. So it does show him wielding the shovel. But let me see if there is more of a physical footage of a physical altercation. I'll double check. Remarkably, witnesses on Reddit who reviewed the footage note that the homeowner remained relatively calm and composed, even showing a degree of empathy once he recognized Nichols may be experiencing a mental crisis. He reportedly persuaded Nichols to wait outside until officers arrived. And that we did see on video. Okay, let me check for this other one, if that exists. Sorry, guys, there's only 2 videos, so that's the 2 that we saw. So again, people think he was having a severe psychotic or manic episode and thought he was there to protect a girl. Pointing to lines like you like raping little girls as evidence he believed the child was being harmed inside. Another highly upvoted comment says it looks like a Taken-style rescue in his head, with users speculating he heard a girl screaming. So they really don't know what his motive is for going inside. The motive in his mind, thinking he's saving someone, does not erase the legal reality. He forced his way into an occupied home, made explicit threats, and is still facing 4 serious felonies. While I was trying to look up the video, there were people thinking that he may have went in thinking that somebody was there, a child that he had to save. but again, still a psychotic breakdown and still broke into the home. Where he thought he was saving her angle matters in the mental health discussion. Could be from the sanity plea. So let me see. I'm learning as we go. So again, the two clips are the front door ring cam and the interior. All right, let me go back to where we were at. Homeowner, he's on point. Did what he had to do. All right, so Fairfield Police Department officers arrived within minutes of being dispatched and located Nichols outside the residence, where he was taken into custody without further incident. He was transported to the North Bay Medical Center for treatment of his head injuries and was subsequently booked into the Solano County Justice Center detention facility. Per the official police statement, officers also obtained a bail enhancement during the booking process. The Fairfield Police Department publicly commended the homeowner for acting to protect his family while officers responded, as well as praising the officer's swift response. Wow. This is scary. This is one of the scariest things, man. All right, so here's the charges he's facing in Fairfield Superior. So you got first-degree residential burglary. So that's the unlawful entry into a residence with intent to commit a felony or theft inside. That's either 2, 4, 6 years of state prison. Always a felony, and it counts as a strike. They have the 3-strike rule. Criminal threats with intent to terrorize. That's willful verbal threats to commit serious bodily harm or death. Victim sustained fear. And up to 3 years state prison as a felony, also a strike. And assault with deadly weapon, not a firearm, causing great bodily injury. Attack using force likely to cause great bodily injury, actual, because there was injury documented. His the homeowner had also hurt his head. That's 2, 3, or 4 years state prison as a felony. And then vandalism, malicious destruction of property, which was probably the door damage from kicking in the bell. Felony if damage is over 400, up to 3 years state prison. So the first-degree burglary charge is particularly serious under California law. Residential burglary, any unauthorized entry into a dwelling with intent to commit a felony inside is always charged as a felony and carries a maximum of 6 years in state prison. It's also a strike under California's 3-strike laws, meaning any future felony conviction will result in doubled sentencing. Critically, 85% of any first-degree burglary sentence must be served, regardless of good behavior. The assault with a deadly weapon with great bodily injury charge is significant because both Nichols and the homeowner sustained head injuries during the confrontation. So under California Penal Code, subsection 245, prosecutors do not need to prove the defendant intended to kill, only that their actions will likely produce great bodily injury and that they acted willfully. The homeowner using a shovel in self-defense does not legally negate the original assault. And for the criminal threat charges under PC subsection 422, the prosecution must prove the threat was unequivocal, unconditional, immediate, and specific, and that the victim experienced sustained fear. Nichols' on-camera statement that he would end the homeowner if the door wasn't open satisfies these elements on their right on the surface. And obviously, he went into the home. There's the intent right there. His bail was set at $35,000 with the bail enhancement obtained by officers during the booking process. His next court appearance is scheduled for April 13, 2026 at 1:25 p.m. in Fairfield Superior Court. I'm just curious to see, what was the weapon? What was the assault on? I just want to see, did I miss something? Did he have something on him, Jason Nichols? I'm curious to see what the assault with the deadly weapon. The assault with a deadly weapon charge on Nichols is tied to the injuries caused during a physical fight inside the house, not to him being armed or with a gun or obvious weapon. Jail and media summary is listed count as Penal Code 245, assault with a deadly weapon. Fairfield police said after Nichols forced his way into the sliding door, the husband came home with a shovel. A fight broke out inside, and both Nichols and the homeowner sustained head injuries. Prosecutors don't need a gun. They can file assault with a deadly weapon if someone uses force likely to produce great bodily injury or uses any object in a way that can cause serious harm. Right now, public records and recaps do not spell out exactly what blows or specific object they were pinning on Nichols for the ADW, only that the fight inside produced head injuries, and the DA jail records classify his conduct during the altercation as assault with a deadly weapon. He is charged with it, but it doesn't say how it happened. I'm wondering if maybe they just, with the shovel, just going back and forth with the shovel. Because the homeowner grabbed that as a I'm going to say improvised tool, not a weapon, tool, because he used it to gain control. They're saying it's not the shovel being pinned on Nichols. It's associated with the homeowner. Publicly described sequence in husband's return, arms himself with a shovel and confronts Nichols. Charge against Nichols is based on his use of force during that fight. Hands, body, or grabbing using objects, not the homeowner's shovel, but the charge and documents available so far don't spell out the precise instrument. All right. So we don't know. Maybe with something else, not with the. I thought maybe they were going back and forth with the shovel. But they don't think that's the case. That's not what's in the. Looks like the police report. Okay, so let's see. Multiple observers, commenters, and even Reddit threads have raised the mental health angle on this case. The key indicators noted publicly include claiming to be a fictional character, so that's Harry Dresden by name, erratic behavior, including kicking and banging the door while wearing a long coat and flip-flops at 9:30 a.m., because he did have flip-flops on. Seemingly delusional sense of purpose. He appeared to believe a child was in danger and that he had a mission to find her. Possible military background. When the homeowner asked if he had served, Nichols apparently said yes, which some observers believe points to PTSD or combat-related psychosis, if that's the case. And a Reddit report cited that police transported him to a psychiatric facility following his treatment at North Bay Medical Center, though this has not been officially confirmed. Well, probably after the head injury, they probably had to make sure he was checked in case there was, internal damage. So, and then after that, maybe they did send him to a mental health hospital. It is important to note that a mental health crisis does not eliminate criminal liability in California. While a defendant may raise an insanity defense, not guilty by reason of insanity, or argue diminished capacity, these defenses face a very high bar under California law and are rarely successful. The felony charges remain unless a court finds otherwise through a formal legal process. So this case became one of the fastest spreading true crime videos of early 2026 right now. The clip was initially circulated on TikTok and Instagram within hours of the April 7th incident. Reddit threads on public freakout or weird or Dresden files all gained tens of thousands of upvotes. LinkedIn posts about the case received hundreds of thousands of views, unusual for that platform. And TikTok creator accounts focused specifically on identifying Nichols before police confirmed the arrest. The Harry Dresden angle sparked a second wave of attention from the fantasy book community, who recognized the reference immediately. And the Fairfield Police Department released an official statement on their Facebook page on April 11, 2026, confirming the details and commending the homeowner. A notable point about media coverage is the AI-generated content question. So Reddit posts raised whether some of the circulated footage was AI-generated or doctored, and the official Fairfield PD statement effectively settled this by confirming the incident, the location, and the arrest. Much of this social media coverage has been unverified or exaggerated. For example, the initial viral claim that Nichols simply asked and walked away was quickly contradicted by the second wave of footage showing that he entered the home. So we confirmed that. Let's see. What else we got? I had some safety tips. If you guys want to hear it. So if this ever happens, you do not want to open the door, which we know didn't happen. The homeowner here made the right call, staying inside or telling his family to stay inside. You have no obligation to engage with someone acting erratically at your door. You call 911 immediately, which I believe you did, even while the person is still outside. You do not need to wait until forced entry occurs. Use your Ring camera's two-way audio to communicate without opening the door. You can also use the built-in siren to alert neighbors. I'll guarantee you he was communicating with that guy while he was driving back to his home. And move family members to an interior room, ideally with a locked door while waiting for police, which I'm sure he did. If the forced entry occurs, stay calm if you can. The homeowner in this case de-escalated and survived with injuries to the head. Engaging aggressively in a panic can escalate a situation involving someone in a mental health crisis. Thing is, you don't know that at that time, so self-preservation does come first. But this gentleman was able to keep his head, probably. And I said, I'm saying the shovel wasn't a weapon. It was his tool to de-escalate. Even if it had to have some physical application to it, he de-escalated, kept control, asked the guy a little bit about himself, and then he was able to control the scene. Use what's available for defense. The homeowner use of a shovel is a real-world example of improvised defensive tools. when a weapon is not immediately accessible, and do not pursue if the intruder flees. Secure your family and let police handle it. Lock interior doors between you and the intruder. Buying time for police to arrive is the goal. And again, this case here, you got to be careful with those sliding doors. Sure, sliding glass doors have secondary locks, floor pins, secondary bar, or Charlie bar. As sliding doors are a common and easily exploited entry point. I've been seeing that a lot lately. Confirm your Ring or security camera covers all entry points, including back and side doors, not just the front. Motion-activated floodlights at alternative entry points, side yard, backyards can deter and alert. And know your neighbors. The suspect was reportedly from the same neighborhood, and awareness of unusual behavior nearby can be an early warning sign. Someone asked during the altercation if the homeowner has been charged. And that's, you're allowed to protect your home, guys, protect your family. So that would be foolish if he was. And he had total control. This guy had total control. Think about it, guys. This person went to your home, could have hurt your family, and he was able to still control himself. I don't know if most of us would be able to do that. And I think that's pretty impressive. So in this Fairfield case, the homeowner appears unlikely to face criminal charges based on the fact publicly released so far. Fairfield police say Jason Thomas Nichols forcibly entered an occupied home through a sliding glass door after threatening the resident and the returning husband, confronting him inside with a shovel while protecting his family. California law generally gives homeowners broad protection when used in force against a forcible intruder inside their residence under state castle doctrine. California Penal Code Section 198.5 creates a presumption that a resident has a reasonable fear of imminent death or great bodily injury when someone unlawfully and forcibly enters their home and is not a member of the household. And that's automatic. That's not something he has to prove. This person's in my home. That's there. It's said loud and clear. Public reports indicate Nichols threatened the occupant, kicked the front door, then entered through a sliding glass door before the confrontation occurred. So that's the bonus of it all. But it was already implied the moment he went into the home. And that fits the kind of forced entry scenario that strongly favors a self-defense claim. Fairfield police did not announce any investigation of the homeowner and instead publicly praised him for protecting his family while officers responded. Now, the Castle Doctrine is not unlimited immunity. A homeowner in California could still face charges if prosecutors believe the force used was unreasonable, retaliatory, or continued after the threat had ended. For example, a resident could be exposed to assault or homicide charges if they kept striking an intruder who was already subdued, chased the person outside and continued the attack, or used force that a jury might view clearly excessive under the circumstances. And that's where I think he had great control, right? Someone comes in and could get at your family and you could be automatically tied with emotion and just go off the hook, but he didn't. Once he did what he had to do to gain control, he ordered the guy to sit down. The guy sat down and they got him they handed it off to the police eventually. So why restraint matters here? That's why the husband's apparent restraint matters so much. Public accounts indicate he confronted Nichols, regained control of himself and the environment, and the encounter ultimately ended with police taking Nichols into custody rather than the homeowner continuing a rage-driven attack. So from both a legal and tactical perspective, that self-control likely helped protect his family and also reduce the chance that his own conduct would become a focus in a criminal case. Yeah. That was interesting, guys. I wanted to show you that, guys, because it's starting to make its way, but I thought there was definitely a lesson, especially recently with covered Nancy Guthrie case. There's those Ring cameras, man. If you guys like the content, don't forget to buy me a cup of coffee. Link to that's in the description as well, top of the YouTube channel. That's all I have on this case. If there is some follow-up, I did make a playlist for it. But if you like my other video, don't forget, if you like these videos, check out my other videos as well. There's some cases that we cover with a very unique perspective. So hopefully you enjoy it. As always, guys, stay safe.